Welcome to Sports, Wheels, and Reels with Jeff Miller and Austin Horton. One show, two guys, three topics, unlimited possibilities. Presented by Mark Miller Subaru. Engage with us on social media or email us at podcast@mmsubaru.com. And now, welcome your hosts, Jeff Miller and Austin Horton.
Welcome back to Sports, Wheels, and Reels. We have
episode 20 something?
No, we turned 30 last week, so we're on to 31.
31. It's a special episode because we have no Austin.
We have no Austin. It's like an away game without the coach.
I know.
It's a little weird.
He's sick with his family.
I've been in your role. I've covered for you, but we've never been bold or brave enough to cover for Austin.
To do this without Austin. It's a bold move
a big
here.
day.
But we got a good show coming up.
Taking off the training wheels.
And we are live on the road here at Westlake STEM Junior High.
Really exciting.
Special event we're going to talk about in the cars segment. We got a good lot of stuff to talk about. Jazz.
Are they legit?
Utes. We got a couple movies.
Yeah.
We got a couple shows, some Netflix shows.
Some good stuff to talk through.
We'll get through it. Let's go.
My name is Bobby Staples. I love dirt roads, saving our public lands, and my Subaru is off-road ready. The Subaru Outback Wilderness is built for people like me. From the factory, they were built rugged with the 9.5 inches of ground clearance. I know that I can get anywhere that I need to without hesitation. What I love about Mark Miller Subaru is the moment I walk in, I feel like I'm a part of the family. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that I love.
All right, Jeff. The big question: are
the
Jazz at 10-3 legit?
Who would have bet? Who would have bet on 10-3? Even the most optimistic. I'm probably the most optimistic Jazz fan in the world.
I would very much agree with that.
With the schedule they had, there's no way they were above 500 at this point. Even last year's Jazz team, if they kept it all together, would have been struggled to get to 10-3 right now with the schedule they had.
Really struggling.
That's the crazy part. Like, you think you keep Donovan, you keep Bogey, you keep Gobert, they would struggle to be 10-3 right now.
We've had the most back-to-backs, the most away games.
They played road games, playoff teams.
And
it's
good
crazy.
teams.
Good teams. Beating Atlanta, like one of the best teams in the league right now.
After getting smacked in the third quarter.
I think they're legit.
I think they're legit.
I don't know if they're 10-3, number one in the West legit, but I think it sits, they're a playoff team. Does Danny blow it up?
That's the question.
I don't know. Like, I think he shouldn't.
The really interesting thing, I was listening to David Locke this morning on the way here, and he's talking about how we don't have that $40 million player, right?
No.
Which some people look at and say, ooh, that's going to be an issue. There's no way you make the playoffs without that $40 million player. But you look at how deep our bench is.
We've got like $15 million players
coming off the bench, right?
Totally.
And they're talking about that's really the difference maker, that you essentially have two like pretty strong starting lineups coming off, actually starting, and then again coming off your bench.
You have like two 15 level, like middle of the road lineups that and it doesn't matter if anyone gets hurt.
Which is awesome.
Gets hurt, Sexton gets hurt, Conley's out for a game. It doesn't matter.
And we've seen that.
Next guy
or Conley has a bad game.
Yeah, the crazy, Sexton. Sexton had a bad game last night or 2 nights ago against Atlanta. What happened? They just didn't play him in the fourth.
Yeah.
No big deal. He's off tonight. We're going to go someone else.
The other really exciting thing, and I think a lot of Jazz fans are excited about, is Will Hardy is not afraid to bench a starter in the fourth quarter if they're not having a good night.
And the cool part was that the guys that he's benching are bought into it. Like
they're pumped.
He benched Jordan Clarkson against the Clippers for the entire fourth quarter.
And he's jumping off the bench.
Going crazy.
Yeah.
It's really fun to watch a group of guys that have so bought into something and are going. Whether it lasts, and we're a seventh of the way through the season. 82 games is a long time. Things can change.
It's an exciting start. And the team really camaraderie is at a completely other level. I heard that Will Hardy was walking through the locker room before the Atlanta game saying that fun is overrated is underrated in the NBA, and was just walking through the locker room just screaming it, and all the guys are just getting so stoked and so hyped because you can tell this team is having so much fun. You look at an Anthony Edwards playing for Minnesota right now. He is not having fun.
No, did you see that play?
He's literally
the play
just
they show where there's
there,
literally an entire play where he just stood in one spot.
And then the next night, D'Lo is standing at the bench thinking he's warming up, ready to check in.
4-on-5.
And they play 4-on-5.
For like 20 seconds.
But this Jazz team just
Which
seems
is great news for the Jazz,
so locked in.
What if the Jazz say they get to the second round of the playoffs this year, and Minnesota has a horrible year, has a couple of injuries, and you get their pick, and they end up getting like a top 8 pick from Minnesota, top 10 pick from Minnesota?
I don't think it's crazy.
It's not a crazy thought right now. Okay, next comment on it though. All-Star games in Salt Lake City. Do we have any representation for the Jazz in the All-Star game?
Absolutely.
What are they?
Lauri Markkanen.
Okay.
And I think you probably see Jordan Clarkson sneak in there. If Jordan Clarkson continues to play at the level that he's playing at,
that's tough. I mean,
it's tough because your guard is so strong.
I would not be surprised to see Lauri Markkanen. Here's a crazier one. Ready?
Okay.
What if the Jazz are the 1 seed? If the Jazz are the 1 seed going in, Will Hardy's the coach.
Wild.
Yeah, that's how they picked the coach.
His first season as a head coach.
How crazy would that be if the Jazz maintain?
Well, that's how it was when Quinn was the coach for the All-Star game 2 years ago.
Yeah. How crazy would that be?
That'd be so cool.
If Will Hardy gets to coach the All-Star game.
Would be really cool.
Next one, you're also going to have some other representatives too, right? So right now you've got almost guaranteed Walker Kessler will be in the rookie game, Rising Stars game, for sure. He's playing insanely well. He's going to be one of the steals of that draft.
In front of his home crowd, playing in front of Atlanta, he had himself a game.
I met his manager a couple times, and they said that they had over 300 of his family members there.
Yeah, he said they put him on 2 buses.
Yeah, they're like crazy.
Between him and Beasley, they had 3 buses of fans at that Atlanta game. 3 of them Sexton's
from Atlanta too.
Yeah, it's a crew.
It was fun. So I think you have him there, and then because it's the home team, you probably get someone in the skills challenge, maybe Conley in the skills challenge.
Yeah.
And Kelly Olynyk right now, I think, is number 2 in the NBA in 3-point shooting. She's shooting like 56% or 57% from 3.
They talked about it at the beginning of the season that if you could get Kelly Olynyk back to his prime, not the way that he was playing in Detroit, he would be a great asset on this team. And I think you're really seeing that.
Everyone laughed about the bogey trades, like, what the hell are the Jazz doing? But without question, Olynyk's the better player right now.
Way better. I mean, Bogey's having himself a game. Yeah. He's having a great season. But Olynyk's been a really great addition to that team. The other interesting thing that Locke was talking about is Lauri Markkanen coming off of a summer playing in the FIBA, playing for Finland, really has set him apart and has really started his season off to just an incredible place because he came off and developed a completely new game.
Oh, definitely. And it looks incredible. So we're excited about that. So next week, you got Washington, Philly, and then home against the Knicks. What's the record? 3 games. It's a short week for the Jazz.
I know. And I'm excited for this Knicks game.
So what do you think? Washington, Philly. So Washington, Philly back-to-back, and then home versus the Knicks.
Washington's looking good. I know they played really well. Kuzma had himself a game last night. I want to say they go probably 2-1.
Yeah. I think they split Washington, Philly, and they beat the Knicks.
Yep.
I think, you never know. I mean, they could take all 3 of them, but I think they go 2-1. 2-1's my bet on it.
Yeah. It's exciting. Exciting time to be a Jazz fan.
We're going to skip. We usually go Utes and BYU at this point, but BYU is so bad that we're just going to skip BYU. So we're just going to go with the Utes.
I heard a rumor that Ryan Smith accidentally sent the "we're tanking" email to BYU and not to the Jazz. That's where the mess up happened.
Man, those are fighting words. Usually Austin keeps us under wraps on that kind of stuff.
No, that's
so Utah Stanford at home, 24-point spread, late night game, 8 p.m. kick.
Yeah,
should be a bloodbath, but you never know. You still got to show up.
Yeah, I mean, Utah's got some injuries and some depth issues, so it'll be a good primer for the Oregon game coming up. But
so then the question now though is that Pac-12 title game scenarios. So looking through it all, this is the most hilarious thing ever. This is the spreadsheet, the graph of what has to happen for Utah in the Pac-12 title, all the different scenarios. It's very complicated right now.
It is. But I think it takes a PhD.
It really breaks down 98% likelihood. If Utah wins out, they're in.
What do you think the chances are that they beat Oregon at home?
I think it's
Oregon.
I think it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
I think it's a 50-50 chance. I mean, I think it just depends who shows up. It's going to be a 1-score game. Come to the end. You never know what happens, but Utah can beat Oregon for sure.
They showed it twice last year.
Healthy, without question. Hopefully you've got some mental edge on the fact that you beat them twice last year. Both times by a lot. Embarrassed them twice. But there might be a chip on their shoulder at the same time.
Yeah.
But if they win both of those, it's hilarious. I was trying to describe to you how the tiebreakers work.
It is so complicated now that it's all in one group.
Basically, it comes to USC, UCLA. So if UCLA beats USC,
USC and UCLA are both 1-loss teams.
And they play
right
the
now.
same day or Utah plays Oregon. So if USC, UCLA. So if UCLA beats USC, so now you have UCLA, Utah, Oregon.
Yep. All with 1 loss.
1 loss. So you go head to head first. They would all have 1 loss against each other. So there goes the next one. And I think it ends up being UCLA gets it over. Wait, no, then UCLA. It's common opponent.
If
it's really
UCLA
crazy.
beats USC.
Now look at my graph. So if UCLA, as long as UCLA won out other than those games, Utah's in the Pac-12.
Well, and what's crazy is that it's not a head-to-head tiebreaker. Because if it's Utah, USC, and Oregon, and Utah beats Oregon, you would assume that Utah should be the clear person coming out of that.
But I think there's a nightmare scenario where UCLA wins out, and Oregon wins out, that it ends up being UCLA, Oregon, and Utah's out.
Well, yeah, I mean, if Utah doesn't win out,
so
if
Utah wins
option.
out and UCLA wins out and Oregon wins everything but the Utah game, I think Utah loses that.
Oh boy!
So really, you got to be cheering for USC,
This is a mess.
which I cheer for USC anyway.
This is a feel good. This is a feel good moment
UCLA
for
almost
you.
as much as I hate BYU.
A feel good moment.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be a good weekend for you.
I don't
You
know.
can wear both the USC and Utah hat.
Yeah, I need both of them to win bad. So
Bad.
We'll see. But I like Utah's odds. I think Utah just needs to take care of business themselves and hope it all comes down the right way.
Couldn't agree. It's fun. It is fun
It's gonna be
seeing
fun.
5 Pac-12 teams in the top 25, though,
And it's crazy. And
and
4
in the top 12.
Top 13, right? Utah's 13.
Yeah.
Pieces. Yeah. So
It's exciting. Good season.
it's fun. We got a good weekend. Lots of jazz. We got the youth today.
Just a good time of year.
I don't even know if BYU plays.
Lots of sports.
They're
I
gonna
know
lose
they
their
have a bye week.
Fourth. That's good.
They have a bye week. They could
Can't
use
lose.
it. They can't lose. Ooh.
I'm going to get some bad comments on that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right.
All right. So coming up, we've got cars coming up next. We got talk about the new Impreza. We'll talk about what we're doing here at Westlake.
Yeah. And Japan a little mad at us from what we've heard.
Yeah, it's true.
All right.
My name is Cindy Savage, and my Subaru is my Swiss Army knife.
My Subaru fits my lifestyle because I am all over the place. I'm working a lot, driving in and out of the city. I love to travel, take road trips on the weekends, love going to concerts. I love getting my car serviced at Mark Miller Subaru. They're really quick and friendly, and it's super easy. Subaru is a brand I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is a local Utah retailer that I love.
'24 Impreza. Subaru leaked it last week with just a little hologram, of it.
Now we got the front hood of it.
We're getting more and more.
I mean, it's still an Impreza. It's really great. Like, and I've seen it in person. It's an Impreza. It's new. It's 100% new sheet metal, new everything.
Yep.
The biggest difference on that car compared to how it looks is how it drives. I've driven this car.
Okay.
And always the issue between an Impreza and an Outback was that you could feel the difference. You could feel the difference of what you pay for an Outback versus what you pay for an Impreza.
Absolutely.
The new Impreza and the new Crosstrek drive like an Outback.
Wow.
Like, it feels like an Outback. It's quiet. It's solid. All that
That's
vibration
awesome.
and harshness is gone.
And it only comes in a 5-door, right?
It's only in a 5-door.
Okay.
There's no more sedan anymore. And then you'll see the new Crosstrek come out later on after that. So we're really excited about it. I mean, it'll be coming out very soon. I don't think you're going to have a EV version of it yet. I think you're probably a year or two out on getting any kind of EV or plug-in version on it or hybrid. But it's going to be a great car for Subaru.
Yeah, we're excited. And should be out. Oh, school's out. All right,
the bell.
Time to go.
So that's a good it's a good entry into why we're here.
It is a great.
So should we talk about that, or should we talk about the Japanese government first?
Yeah, we'll put the Japanese on the back burner for a minute.
On the back burner. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about why we're here.
So we're here at Westlake STEM Junior High, which is actually in a temporary facility because they lost their school during the earthquake last year. And we're partnering with Utah Jazz as part of our partnership this year to join the school, and we're unveiling a new language lab. So
awesome.
we've donated over $30,000 to create this new language lab at this school, and we're doing the final ribbon cutting and announcement of it today with the Jazz. We got the Jazz Bear coming,
cool
Jazz dancers. It's gonna
be we walked by it on our way in here, and it looks like something from outer space. The setup in that classroom looks really cool.
It's neat. So this is a really unique school. It's actually not that unique for this area, but over 25 different languages are spoken.
Wow.
In the hallways every day. Here.
Wow.
And 70% of the students here English is not their first language.
Which is a teacher trying to teach a class
so imagine
with
a teacher
multiple
with
languages would be so challenging.
Kids, 35, 40 kids in a classroom. You're trying to teach this class in English and 70% of them are like kind of understanding.
Yeah.
So it makes it a really different challenge. So what the language lab does is it's kind of futuristic. It's a bunch of stuff in the ceiling and the headphones come down from the ceiling and the teacher, based on the desk and the headphone, can connect students in the classroom.
Based off of language.
Based off language or who they wanted to practice with. So the idea is that the biggest key for kids learning English and being able to assimilate into US is to be able to communicate and have those conversations and learn how to communicate while doing lessons.
So cool.
So they can connect 2 kids to work on a lesson together or connect 3 kids to have conversations without disrupting the rest of the class. And the teacher can learn it, listen in on it, and help. Okay, I'm going to talk to those 2 kids right now, and they can just manage the classroom a lot better, a lot easier through it. So this is the first one we're doing, and the first one we're testing out.
So cool.
Our hope is to do many more of these with the Jazz over the next little bit.
I mean, it's so cool. We've seen it with the tutoring that we're doing right now with the kindergarten class, but the impact that technology is able to have on these students learning and really eliminating the gap between the kids that are excelling and the kids that are falling behind for exactly this reason, because of whether it's a language barrier or they're just falling behind, is truly incredible.
Because it's hard for a teacher. The teacher has to teach to the lowest level of the class.
Yeah.
And that makes it really hard for the kids up because the kids at the top are just bored.
Yeah.
And they're not paying attention. The key on this is to try and get as many of these kids up to high school level by the time they start that freshman year in high school, because that's the key to their success.
Yeah.
So we're really excited for it. It's going to be cool. If you check out all of our Instagram pages and Twitter page, you'll be able to see exactly if Twitter still exists by tomorrow. I don't know if it will. We'll see.
And it's awesome just to be working with such a great company like the Jazz, who truly does care about the community, very similar to us. We talk about that all the time, of really making sure that we're partnering with other organizations who have the same genuine desire to take care of our community and understand the importance of that. And it's really great to be partnering with them.
So excited when we came in to do we re-upped our contract with the Jazz this year, and they walked in the room to talk to us about what they wanted to do. And the first stuff they started talking about was the community. First thing was like, how do we take our partnership and help people?
It's such a
and
difference.
It's like, oh my gosh, that's like, you are us.
That's who we are.
Like, it's so easy. And so we could not have a better partner, and we're so excited about this event. So we're excited. Do you want to talk about the scavenger hunt?
Let's do it.
You guys jumped in on that?
We talked about it a little bit last week.
So next week will be the first clue on the podcast.
You got to listen in.
With Austin, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Although I think we're doing pretty well.
We're having a good time.
So we'll see. So last thing on cars, talking about the Japanese government. They're mad at the U.S.
They're not happy. They're not happy.
And they've got a pretty good point. I mean, with the trade laws and everything like that, you're not supposed to discriminate against countries. And the Inflation Reduction Act and what they did with electric cars, they have to be built in the U.S. and all that is without question discriminatory.
Yep.
And whether it will get resolved or not with this administration, I don't know. But as of right now, well, the biggest problem with it is that essentially starting January 1st, there's like 6 cars, I think, that are actually
manufactured here.
Yeah, nothing actually qualifies. Yeah. So they've got to figure out how to at least grandfather some stuff in, or EV business is going to go through the
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the car has to be built here and the battery has to be built here, right? So it's like half
of the credit is whether it's built here and half is where the battery's sourced.
Okay.
And the materials for the battery also have to be sourced in the U.S., which I don't even know if we have enough lithium in this country to manage
make that happen.
So,
interesting.
So we'll see where it goes. And a lot of it has to do with countries that we have trade agreements with. We don't have a trade agreement with Japan, which is crazy, first of all. But
of all the places.
Well, they had it. So there was the TPP. There's our bell. Time to go again.
Time to go. Get started.
It's a very interesting sounding bell.
Hustle to class.
Like, I miss the old bell.
I do.
Like, we need a ringing bell. Like, it's really
going off the metal
it's really
bell.
Stressful.
I feel my anxiety building.
I'm late for class. I gotta go.
I'm gonna have some nightmares tonight. But I haven't turned in my homework.
We'll see how the EV thing comes up. I'm sure we're going to talk about it a lot, and there's going to be a lot of changes.
It's a hot topic for sure.
It'll definitely be on our list. But so that's what we got for cars.
Awesome.
Cars in Westlake. We're excited to be here, though. But definitely check out our website and check out our pages online to learn more about this Westlake project.
It's going to be really cool.
Very, very cool. And you'll see a lot of stuff on it coming out today.
Awesome. We close this thing out with some reels.
Yep. We'll be back after this and do some reels. We got one show and one movie to talk about.
And I think you have a presentation to give in the auditorium to all the
I got to go talk to a bunch of middle schoolers. They're going to be so mean.
Buckle up.
We'll see. I'll leave it to the bear. They can cheer the bear.
There you go.
Okay. We'll be back.
My name is Donna Maturo McAleer, and my Subaru is serving our community. I've owned 3 Subarus in my life, and they've all been from Mark Miller. When I purchased my car, it was a very smooth process. I came in, I never felt like I was being upsold. It was meeting my need, not a sales goal. Subaru is the brand that I trust, and Mark Miller Subaru is the local Utah retailer that I love.
Reels, as Austin likes to say.
Reels. So
I flying to DC last week.
Okay.
Decided I needed a good movie, and I'd heard really good things about the Redeem Team, and it is
I have not seen it yet.
An incredible story,
like behind the scenes. Talking about
so cool. Talking about bringing Kobe in and just the issue that they experienced of like you're bringing a bunch of cocky athletes together that assume they're going to be able to play, and they're missing reads, they're missing passes, and these are all really talented guys. And Coach K essentially comes in and says, "Look. If we're doing this, we're doing it right. And you guys are all going to be in Vegas every single summer up until the Olympics. And we are building a cohesive culture."
They finally built USA basketball to actually be something that's going to. Now it's great. Now they've got select teams. I mean, it's crazy what they've got that built to. But what a cool story. What a cool behind the scenes part.
Definitely worth the watch, and just interesting to even see the work ethic of Kobe and how that fed into the entire team. I mean, there were guys saying they'd come back from the club at 4 or 5 in the morning, and Kobe would be coming down the elevator going to the gym. And then next thing you know, someone else is coming down the next day to get started, and it's
going to the club.
And just really the level of intensity and the level of seriousness that kind of infiltrated that team because of bringing in some different talent and building a different culture was really had a huge impact. Yep,
Netflix Redeem Team. It's definitely get full recommendation.
Definitely worth the watch.
All right, we've got a trailer to put out there. So, Ashley, let's run that trailer.
I'm your ghost of Christmas present.
We're bringing back Christmas.
Like a Christmas carol?
On a bitter, cold Christmas Eve, one dark soul is selected for redemption by the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and yet to come. A tradition that continues to this very night.
Like a Christmas carol?
Yes. If you would just let me get this out. Sit.
So out of all the people on the planet, murderers, people who do gender reveal parties, I'm the guy you're gonna haunt.
You know what? Forget it. I told you, the guy is a level 20 Benjamin Dickens.
Come on, I can take this guy.
I'm your ghost of Christmas present.
La 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 la, I'm not watching your dramatic re-encrapment.
Hey, I'm haunting you. You can't just run away from me when I'm haunting you. Hello?
We're bringing back Christmas.
I believe he can be a positive force for mankind.
And he's got his hands all over everything.
Yeah, I wish. Maud, are you texting HR?
No. People don't change.
We got a runner! That's just fun to watch. I'm here to change him to being a more positive force for humanity. Clint. Yeah.
You Photoshop yourself into these pictures of my executive VP?
I don't think so.
Oh, you want that.
What I want is for you to shut up and let me do my job.
Is there a ghost of Christmas Grumpy? Because you could do that job.
This is where real change begins.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he's definitely. No, he's fine.
He's good.
Well, none of it's real anyway.
Okay.
I'm excited about this.
I'm so excited. I've been so excited since this came out.
You told me about it this morning, and I hadn't heard about it, but it is going to be great.
Together, like that's incredible.
And perfect timing. Everyone's getting excited for Christmas. It'll be
as Austin puts it. Ryan Reynolds always plays the same character, but that's okay.
Just in a different way, slightly different way.
Because he's got that character nailed.
He owns it. He owns it through and through. Does a great job.
Like a riff on Scrooge, like kind of making fun of Scrooge while doing Scrooge, like.
So is this only going to be on Apple TV?
It's Apple TV.
Right.
I don't think it's theater at all. It's only Apple TV.
Well, we continue to force the conversion.
Do you think Austin's actually going to have to buy Apple TV?
I thought he bought an Apple TV so that he could watch Ted Lasso.
No, he still hasn't watched Ted Lasso.
Well,
I offered to pay his monthly subscription.
Here comes the suspension. The suspension.
It's more.
Austin will not be on the show until further notice. Ted Lasso is his homework. We're gonna ring this bell for him. Hopefully, his anxiety goes up.
He thinks he's watched Ted Lasso because he's seen all the clips on Twitter.
No.
It's like no. He needs to embrace Ted Lasso.
Until further notice, Austin Horton will be on a 4-week suspension
until he gets Apple TV.
Don't know what to tell you, Austin. If you're homesick, you got some time to watch it.
Okay. Good show today.
Good show.
Gotta go do some assemblies.
That was fun.
Middle schoolers yelling at me. Good job, Josh. Thanks for stepping in.
Happy to be here.
Appreciate it. And we'll see you all next week for the scavenger hunt. So come in, be a part of it for that. And good to go.
All right.
What do we finish with?
Utah by 5.
Trust me.